Well, hello! You know what they say? Third time's the charm. Been trying to shoot this video twice already and it doesn't work. Not super tech savvy. I thought I was, but apparently not. So today we are going to talk about the oral exam for the specialty LLCE, meaning the portfolio. Other names for it would be the personal file, the cultural file, etc., etc. So the idea, if you've clicked on this video, is that you're looking for ways to prepare for it, to find a question, to find your documents, and then to prepare the plan of your presentation. So first, try to have a look at how you will be marked. So look into the scale of the exam. The first thing you need to be conscious of is that you will be marked on the coherence of your presentation and on the links you've drawn between the documents. So the idea behind it is that you do not prepare a linear plan or a plan where you just enumerate information. So what you want to do is to create links between your documents as much as possible. Remember that you need to be straight to the point, straightforward, and most of all, concise. Now, the second thing on which you will be marked will be the 10 minutes of interaction with your examinator, and then you will be marked on the fluency with which you talk, with which you respond to your examinator. So how fluent you are with English, what are your cultural references, do you remember things you've seen in class, and how well you can think about them on the spot and include them in the conversation. Do you agree, do you disagree, and how do you prepare your arguments? So the third thing on which you will be marked will be your mastery of spoken English, meaning the grammatical aspect. Do you make a lot of grammatical mistakes? Are you able to correct yourself when you speak, etc., etc.? The fourth thing on which you will be marked is the level of your English. Do you use very basic words, or are you able to use a higher register? What is the extent of your vocabulary? So do you use words such as sad, or do you use words such as sorrowful? Okay, so now you know how you will be marked. So the next step is to start creating your portfolio. For this, you have two starting points. The first one would be to start with the actual work you are going to present, the work which is on the national syllabus. So you've seen books and movies which were part of this national syllabus when you were in première and when you were in terminale. So usually it's 2 books and 1 movie a year. So it's different in each high school because it's different for each teacher. If you don't know which one they are, you can simply ask your teacher. So the second option would be to start with the theme. So as you know, you have 2 themes in première and you have 3 in terminale, and you have to present 1 theme during your portfolio. So you can have a look at the themes, see if there's one which you like more than the others, or one which you know more about, etc., etc. Just start with the book or start with the theme. Once you have one or the other, the question you need to ask yourself is, how does my document illustrate this theme? Or how does this theme is illustrated in my document? Once you have this question, you can start thinking about notions. And those notions will tell you what your main question will be about. At the beginning, it's okay if you don't have a very specific question. What you want to do is to start with notions and then thin it to an actual specific question. The problem if you start with the question which is too wide right away is that you will have too much information and you will be unable to find documents which are specific enough to illustrate your arguments. So what you want to do is to think about the different notions and try to look for documents which illustrate those notions first. Okay, so next part. So now you have the theme and the document which you want to present and the notions which are associated with them. So now you can look for documents which will best exemplify the notions you have chosen and the potential question you are going to ask during your presentation. So the documents, you can find 3 types of documents. Let me move forward a bit. Should I do this like this? Haha. Okay, so the first type of document, I don't know if it's going to work. Should just stop. Okay, concentrate. I said concentrate. Okay, so the first type of document you will have to find is literary works. So anything, novellas, novels, short stories, poetry, etc., etc. So when you're looking for those documents, pay attention to the main work you have chosen for your presentation. Which genre is it? Which literary movement does the author or the creator belong to? Either you can start with genre, am I looking for something in the same genre, or literary movement, am I looking for an author in the same literary movement? You can go online on Wikipedia, or you can even look in anthologies to have a look at those different things. For example, for genres, you are looking for utopia, so what kind of other utopias have been written? Or for the literary movement, you are looking for someone who wrote during the Harlem Renaissance, which other writers have written during this era. This will allow you to find other authors writing about the same things, or writing in the same era and writing and defending the same ideology. Okay, so the second document you will have to look into is non-literary works, so anything related to the press, for example, speeches, etc., etc. For this, usually straightforward, just go online, type a few keywords and see what kind of articles you end up finding. For the speeches, it might be a bit harder. You can start with the speaker you're interested in, and then just looking into the biography of that speaker and trying to find different speeches he or she has made that you're interested in using. So the third type of document you will have to find are visual art works. So it can be anything from a photograph to a painting, to a still from a movie, anything related to something visual. Careful, if you choose a novel, the book cover will be counted as a visual artwork and not as a literary work. So pay attention to the type of document you choose and how you choose to present them in your portfolio, in your presentation. For this, I would advise you to do the same thing as for the first type of document, which is to look into the movement, the artistic movement, and directly the artist. Once you have an idea of the movement, of the things you want to see portrayed, then have a look at a specific artist and then search for this artist's different artworks, and then you can select the artwork which is best suited to your presentation. So now you should have your 4 to 6 documents surrounding the notions that you have picked. It can be contrasting with them, opposing them, or on the other hand, being quite similar and defending their point of view. This is really up to you on how you want to present your portfolio. Now, remember that it's okay if after the first draft you're not super happy with all your documents and one you feel is not working as well as the others. It's okay if at the beginning you don't have the most perfect documents for your portfolio in your presentation. Just know that you will have enough time to work on them and to pick better documents, to remove the documents that don't work well enough. So for this, just remember to keep a file somewhere on the internet, on your computer, on a USB key, where you store the different documents you want to include but are not too sure about. Just have an idea of the documents you could include in case one suddenly you find not satisfying enough, so that you can have a look at what you have researched beforehand. Okay, so now this is the last part of the preparation for the portfolio. You have your theme, you have your main work, you have your notions, and you have the rest of your documents. Now, I would advise you to do what you would do for the written exam of the Bac, which is a synthesis. Just create a table with a column for each document and analyze the heck out of them. Use the highlighter and highlight all of it. everything you find interesting. Think about opposition and similarities. What is being opposed? Is it different? Or, on the other hand, what is similar? What is being said in the same manner, etc. Keep in mind your notions, because they will help you to analyze your texts. And then, once you have done this analysis part, you will see the main parts of your plan kind of coming forward, because as you work on the text, you will understand what the texts are about, and you will be able to create connections between the documents. The way you plan your presentation is really up to you. It can be 2 main parts with 2 subparts, it can be 3 main parts with 2 subparts, or even, if you have the time, 3 main parts with 3 subparts. The only important thing for you to remember is that you need to create connections between the documents. If you do a very linear plan, you will end up enumerating your documents or just presenting your documents. What the jury will be expecting is for you to make connections between the documents and to show that you're linking them together. Right, and now you're finished. You have your documents, you have your plan, and when you have your plan, you know exactly what you are going to present. So that is the moment you go back to your question, which was right at the top, this very question, which was a bit unclear, which was a bit blurry at the beginning, and you can take these notions and write a truly specific question about what you will be presenting in your plan. Just make sure that your plan is complex enough. If it is too linear, you will end up enumerating things. Try to complexify it. For example, problem, impact, solution. That would be a good way to start a plan. And now this is the end. You have found a theme, you have found a main work, you have created a question, a specific question about what you will answer, and you've created a plan in which you create connections between those documents. And now the next part is to practice. Practice your presentation, practice your English, your intonation, and your tone. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them down below. And I will see you when I see you, and I hope that I can manage to put this video up because it's been complicated. Alright, bye bye guys, take care.